If I get everybody's attention, we've got the shuttle.
Welcome back to the U.S. Amateur Championship. This is the 2011 U.S. Amateur Championship. We're here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. I'm J.R. Calvert. Joining me in the booth is special guest Joey Strazzani. Joey, how you doing, buddy?
Good to be here with you guys.
We got a match in front of us here. We got DJ Kinnee and Daniel Gambill. That's right, Gambill. What do you think we got ahead of us here, Joey? We've been looking at their bios a little bit here.
And Shane LeBlanc.
Looks like this DJ Kinnee might be a little hard to judge because it doesn't look like he's ever played APA, so there's no ratings at all on him. And you got Daniel. He's a 7 and 8 ball and an 8 and 9 ball. So
who do you think's the favorite here?
From the chat room, it's looking like this Daniel Gambill.
How ironic.
Yeah.
A last name Gambill.
Perfect for the pool world, I guess.
Well, it looks like they've chosen to start out with 8 ball. So we're going to be...
So I'll be back in a half hour when 9 ball starts.
I love it.
Now, is this is it rack your own?
No, this is winner breaks,
okay.
And the other guy racks.
Okay.
He's made a stripe. Looks like he made a solid there. 1 ball eked its way down there. And I'll be honest, the 6 is trapped by the 14 there on the side, or the 10. So I'm probably pretty much going to shoot that 6 right now. Open this game wide open. And let it go from there. I mean, there's an out if you shoot low balls. The 6 is blocking enough at the 14 that it might even keep you from getting out. So I think the logical first shot here is the 6 ball up in the corner. Because I think he's made 1 of each.
Yeah, I might look at drawing that back. I would have hit the 6 and drew it back and maybe played that 7 on the side because that 7's blocked up.
Well, he hit that 5, and now he's kind of committed to shooting either the 14 that's right by the 7 by the rack or the 13. He looks pretty comfortable with the 13 at this point, though.
Wow.
And look at this. He's let the 7 somewhere where he can pocket the 4 in the side, stop the cue ball, pocket the 7, come off the rail a little bit, and take care of that problem 6 ball.
Yep.
And I think if he does that first 3 balls, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Well, yeah, that's his whole problem right there is that whole end of the table.
Well, the thing about 8 ball, it's a very simple game if you think about it in 1 or 2 sentences. Every time you leave the table, he's trying to, kind of diddly. He created more of an angle, and I think he was thinking he's going to come right down for the 6, and didn't. He wants to leave the 7 to block.
He's playing real safe.
He's playing a tight game, as we would say. I think he's shooting this in a corner, I hope. He sure is, and he pocketed it very clean. He may use the 7 even as his key ball, the ball that he's going to use to set up for the 8. He's a lab technician by trade. Methodical
yes.
Lab technician for 5 years. So you know he has an analytical mind. He's got a reason. And I'm sure that right now he's wishing that he had a better shot than what he did. See, he hasn't even looked at the 7 yet.
No, that's why I was saying he's playing a tight game because he's leaving that in case he misses because of that 10 ball holding it up.
Well, you know, the funny thing is that with the 9 where it's at, you know, there's a lot of places that you can just move right in and make that 10 ball a fairly easy shot. So I wouldn't put too many eggs in that basket, and I'd go ahead and take that 7 right now. Get on the 5 and reevaluate, you know.
It's going to be important now how he gets on this 5 ball to play that 8. He's got to get that cue ball up table. Oh, he's shooting a 5 first.
And it looks like he's made pretty easy work here. Daniel Gambill taking the first game.
Yeah, 1-0.
Take a second here and say hello to one of our sponsors. We're back. And he's using that second ball hit. He's made the 2-ball. And I don't think he's going to like this too much. As a matter of fact, it's downright nasty. I mean, I don't think he can hit one of his balls. And there's not, I mean, if you look, there's actually, you know, a good 10 inches there between the cue ball and the nearest ball, and he may be able to breathe on one of his balls if he bends it. You know, he can hit that 1 ball. So that second ball break is not the end all of end alls. I mean, it'll, you know, if you don't draw that ball with a lot of English out of that, you know, off that second rail, you end up down here and there's nothing, there's no promise. You've broke everything up table.
Right. It's part of that make it, take it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes.
Yeah.
Bites you.
Well, he's on the 7 ball here, and he's going to give it a whirl.
Good hit.
Good hit.
It's the importance of keeping a cue ball in the center of the table.
Yeah, for the most part, you know, anytime you're in doubt, when in doubt, put the cue in the center of the table.
Right.
It can't be all that bad. You're probably at worst going to be 5 feet from your nearest shot.
Right.
Yeah, I want to take a second to thank Kinnee for helping out the Inside Pool subscribers and the Inside Pool TV viewers. Kinnee has graciously donated 50 of their tips. For the vouchers. Basically, it's going to be a voucher, and they got the price reduced on the Inside Pool subscription. So instead of $36.99 for 2 years, you can get 2 years for $27.99. And on top of it, you're going to get a voucher for one of the Kinnee tips to be installed by one of their installers, their authorized installers, which is about a $20 value. So you get about $60 worth of value for $27. Not that bad. So thanks, Kinnee. They're doing a good job, and they make a pretty darn good tip at the same time, you know.
Yeah, I've heard rave reviews about it. Yet to try one.
They look pretty. I hear a lot of
look pretty.
a lot of good things about them. They're making a pretty good, darn good piece of chalk too. Looks like we're going to see the 14 ball. All right, he's down.
He's not doing too bad with a troubled table.
You know, the only thing he has to make sure is that he can get on the 11 in the side pocket so that he can stop it and maybe even make the 9 up in the upper left-hand corner.
Exactly. I was looking at the 15. If he shoots the 15, just draws it back a little. Play the 11 in the side, follow the 9, shoot the 10, and then just follow the 10 up a little and play the 8 in the corner. But I'm a 9-ball player, so I could be wrong.
Well, We'll call you in 6 or 7 games.
You're right.
Well, you know, he's pretty much on the 50-yard line on every shot that he has, with the exception of the 9. I mean, he can cut the 11, maybe. But if he makes this 9 ball, I think he can drift over to the left-hand side rail there and shoot the 11, follow up a little bit, pocket the 10 in the side pocket, and have the 8 ball, I don't know where.
I think that 8 ball is going to have to go in that corner. I mean, there's, down table.
Well, I can see getting over towards the right-hand side pocket where there's a lot of clearing and shooting it in the upper left-hand corner pocket. Yeah. I like that shot. I feel comfortable with that. Well,
I'm not sure why he felt the need to hit that so hard.
Yeah. I don't know what he was trying to do there, because if he was to keep shooting from here, he's still only about 50-50 in my book to get out. That's really tough.
Yeah, that 8 ball's at.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't miss that by that much. So the cue ball's fairly reasonably close to where he wanted it to be. So something went wrong there. That's all. And you're allowed to miss a shot.
I told you these Robertsons are tough. Oh, gives it back.
Well, he didn't leave, he didn't totally sell the farm. I think there's a bank and then a pretty decent cut on the 11. Bank the 10, draw back 4 or 5 inches to a foot.
Come back up table after the 11. Curious to see what he does with the cue ball.
Well, that 7-6 is going to be the big problem right now. And not that it is a problem. It's the only one where if he gets in that area, he has to take the 7 first.
Right. He might try and get on this, do something with this 5 to get to it. Bust him out.
I think he's supposed to shoot the 5 or the 7 right now. Now, if he shoots a 7, he goes 7-1-5.
Yeah, he's shooting a 7. Well, that's a good shot. I didn't know it would go.
Yeah. It's different from here because it's one of those things where
you're not getting a 3D view.
You have an idea. It's just 2D. It's interesting. I'd have pulled that back a little bit further because even if he gets on the other side of the 3, he can run 3 rails right at the 8 ball. This way, he's rolling a ball and hoping he misses the scratch. And the 11 is almost blocking the corner for the 8 ball.
Right.
To shoot. Like if the cue ball was almost to end up where the 3 ball is, he'd have to shoot the 8 by the 11. There's room there. And he'll slide to the right just a little bit. It's just he has to feel comfortable with this shot. Both shots, actually. Built-in safety. And if you're DJ Kinnee, you're going, why me?
Not liking that too much.
I think he's massing to hit this, which is a smart shot if he can hit the other side of the ball. Look at this. He's going to
like that.
That 7 can be cut. He can draw right off the 15, back up table. So I'd hit this shot with pure draw and draw after the 7 off the 15 up table.
Right.
And you really don't care which direction it goes. Pretty good hit. I think he's going to leave the 11, 15, whatever that ball, I think it's the 11, down on the bottom rail. Yeah, it's a wood.
Yeah, this shouldn't be too hard of an out. He should get out here easily.
Yeah. There's some built-in safeties here, but I don't think he has to even worry about those. He just has to pocket this ball. Fairly flat hit. It'll miss the 7-8 on the way up, bounce off the bottom rail, and give him the 8 in the right-hand side pocket. Well,
oh, he's flirting with that 8.
He hit it really thin, and he needs to hit this ball and go past it. He doesn't want that necessarily, but he got pretty lucky. He can still hit the whole cue ball, if you know what I mean, without jacking up.
Sure.
Well,
you got 2-1.
2-1. 1-1. Yep. Definitely 1-1. We'll go ahead and say thanks to one of our sponsors here.
I'm John Hendrick, pool player and owner of the Green Room in Pineville, North Carolina. My serious players demand quality, and that's why I've switched to Milliken Super Pro. This cloth plays at the perfect speed. It lasts a long time, and the spill guard protection saves my tables from stains. It saves me money, and my customers love it.
Milliken Super Pro, exclusively from Sterling Gaming.
Milliken's got me covered. How about you?
And
Scratch.
That's a scratch. He doesn't want to see that. Joey, lend us your rotational expertise here.
Let's start by shooting a 1 in the corner.
Where's the 2?
Yeah. No, he needs to. Tell you, I do not like. I'd definitely be playing stripes from here. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the solids.
Well, that 6 ball messes up the 9 a little bit, but not totally.
Right, and the 2, I don't like the 2.
But yeah, if you were to shoot the 6 and break out the 2, you'd still have the 1 that's messed up. I mean, there's some really weird things going on with this rack, and the 10 can go, the 14 can go, the 12 can go.
Yeah, I like his idea. I think he was playing. You know, that's not a bad idea. If he was to shoot the 14, then he can play the 9 or the 13, whichever, if he draws it back. He can play this followed up for the 13. We better be. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Now,
he's got a little angle now, though, I think.
I wouldn't mind seeing him getting rid of the 13, like take the 14 here, draw back a little bit, and when he makes the 13, nudge the 8 away from the 2.
This is why I'm not a fan of 8 ball, because you do get out of shape, you got 5 other balls to aim at. Just my opinion. I would just play this soft up and then shoot the 9. Unless he wants to stretch.
Yeah. I
Shoot
like
the 14 and then shoot the 9, then shoot the 13.
Yeah, I like shooting the 14.
Yeah, a man of my stature couldn't shoot that shot. Yeah, I think you're right.
He's looking at shooting a 13 here.
Smart. I don't think that was bad. Maybe Mike bust that 2 out and use that 2 to get him even to the right side of that.
I mean, I really don't like the fact that the 9 doesn't go, so I'd probably be setting up like with a stop shot for the 9. There you go. Take a look around. I mean, if he stops this ball, he can pocket the 14 in the same pocket, slide over, and then shoot the 10 in the same pocket. But he still has no really good shot at the 8.
Nope.
And that's why I was saying he needed to, at some point, get something where he could nudge at 8. And he just shot the ball that I thought was going to be the perfect nudge ball. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. He had to create an angle somewhere because even if he would have shot that in the corner, he wasn't going to get to that 10 probably without hitting the 4. I think he would hit the 4 and not even broke out the 10. I think he would have been messed up. So I think he played what was right to get some good position. But like you said, even if he would have got off the 10 and whatever, the 14 or 15, that 8 ball was a problem.
Yeah. Well, I think he's given him the 1, which is one of his big problems to start with. I would look at going right to the 4, clean this side of the table, and worry only about the other side. That way you can play safe and do your thing. But there is a big safety here, is to come down and get underneath the 2, bank the 2 in between the 15 and the 11, 3 rails, back down table here, and leave the cue stuck to the 8.
There's his breakout right here.
You know, he's going for the long distance stuff. And I think he's left it fairly decent. Well, this is everybody's favorite shot. Your guy has just missed. Even though you can hit any ball you like, almost, nothing's really appetizing. So you got to just kind of bite the bullet and play the world's safest shot, which did not seem to go off as planned. 5 balls on the
table, right? Nothing safe.
Yeah, there's, at that point there, they're saying, make this incredibly hard, insane shot, lest you sell out.
Oh,
gonna
that's
get
the bumpy knees.
There it is. There it is. I mean, if the 2 would be wired, I mean, I would even consider shooting it because it doesn't really work into the run out right now.
He may be a. He's a right-handed player. He'd have to stretch way too far to do that. But yeah, another couple inches away, that'd be perfect shot. Uh-oh.
That's going to take a drink. I think one of the questions that I should have asked these players is what size table do they play on most frequently? Because I'm not sure whether both players play a lot on the 9-foots. Could be 7-foot that they play on.
My experience is that most of the APAs played, at least up north where I was from, the bar is all 7-footers.
Well, the thing is about this tournament is you don't have to be an APA player to play in it.
Oh, so there's just a qualifier, whether you're APA or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's an even race qualifier. So everybody
Sure,
here
no
out of these
handicap.
128 has already played personal. Pretty good out. Made the nice 9-ball shot that he needed to make. I don't know. It's one of those things with me where I kind of played on both tables quite a bit, and I never really noticed, that it was a problem to go from one table to the next until I started to really watch other guys. Bar players can't play on 9-footers, and 9-foot players, believe it or not, cannot play on a 7-foot table. I mean, they try, but they play it like it's a 9-footer, and they play it exactly wrong.
Angles are wrong and everything.
Well, they try and
Or
move the
their
cue
cuts.
ball all the time, and it's really not about moving the cue ball. It's about stopping the
shots,
cue
sure.
ball.
Right.
Yeah. But, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you move it, you can get in a mess. Everything's clustered. 7-footer.
It's like, why would you move your cue ball when you're in a perfectly fine space where,
Yeah.
you can see everything?
Run into too many balls, get out of shape fast.
DJ's having a heck of a time putting these balls up, and it had in the case. I mean, it might be something that we're going to have either the room manager, Rolando, or the tournament director, Bill, step in and take a look at it for us here. It's just going to be an inevitable thing. Second ball hit. He's got a good kiss this time. He didn't go up table. Too bad. And he made the 8. So that's a win for Daniel Gambill. It's always a nice thing to get a little extra space there. Widen that gap with just a little one stroke. Love it. Take a second here to say, well, you know what? I think he might just set him up here. Let's see how fast he sets these up. Well, looks like one of each. I like this. pretty simple mathematics here. That 6 will go off the 15 and the side is a pretty delicate hit. Still, those balls are tied up by the spot. There's nothing really that's you know, an obvious no-brainer here, but I would definitely consider high balls at this point. And the reason I say it is the 14 can be used to break out some of those other balls. The 15 can be remained, saved, right as your insurance shot. And the 11 would be the one that would block it, the 6 from going in. But he's going to shoot the 6 and declare strike balls right out of the gate. I think that's a little bit of a mistake because I honestly thought that we were looking at having him, you know, come up. That we were. That what we were going to do is we were going to see him try and break this 13-10 out. 10 out. You know, he can see the 10.
Yeah, he come off the rail and pop the 13 out of there, I think.
Believe it or not, if he brushes the 13 just right, he might be able to either A, get a shot on the 13, or even if he hits it really thin where he knocks it past the 7 and then proceeds down table for that 10 ball, or the 12 ball.
This is his key shot here. There you go.
Oh, look at this. He not only got a shot, but he got a shot with an angle to his last ball. Do you know how rare that is?
He fouled it up and played a 10 in the corner. Or 12, whatever it is.
Yeah, there's just not enough of the stripe for us to see. Even from this angle.
Looks like a 10.
One of those balls.
Right.
That stripe ball.
There it is.
And Daniel Gambill is running wild right now.
Well, the good news is it's 9 ball next.
We're going to take a quick break here and say thank you to one of our sponsors.
40 years of Q craftsmanship. A state-of-the-art production facility. Revolutionary design. When you step to the table, unleash the fury. Precision craftsmanship. A player's cue ready for action. A cue with a sweet hit. A consistent hit. See the entire line of Fury cues and unleash your fury.
Looks like there's a little discrepancy here with the rack. Daniel was saying, DJ, put him back up, which is something that every pool player likes to see and hear and have happen to them.
Right.
This is my favorite thing, is to rack them, spend 10 minutes racking them, and have your opponent come up and say, that's not good enough for me. That's right behind insulting your girlfriend,
right.
Running over your dog.
You know, at this point in the game, and Gambill's already up. Sure, why not throw a little more fire, a little more gas on a fire?
There's some salt and lemon for that wound.
Sure, exactly.
You can't do anything right, dude. You can't make a ball, you can't draw your rock, and now you can't even rack, and they're not even moving.
And they're not moving, yeah.
Oh, nice break.
Well, look at that. Gambill's favorite billiard game is 9-ball.
Somebody played a joke on somebody there and pulled the old "I'm going to play 8-ball first" move.
Right. Daniel's out here playing for his dad today, Ron Gambill, who just recently passed away.
I'm sorry to hear about that. He does play very nice pool.
Yeah, looks like he brought his A game.
Well, he's from Hickory, North Carolina. It's a town of one-way streets. You ever go to Randolph Billiards?
No.
It only takes you 16 turns on one-way streets to get there.
Don't blink, right?
Well, I could imagine that the cops would just have a field day in a town like that where it's nothing but one-way streets.
Right.
There's probably only two. I just never got off of either of them.
One going in and one going out. Right?
No, I've been there. There's a lot of great players come from Hickory, North Carolina. Tony Watts and Charlie Bryant, Hillbilly.
Really?
Yeah, both of them are from Hickory. They play good pool. They play very well. Now back at the ranch, DJ finds himself in hot water once again. Well, Daniel likes to fish and play 9-ball, so his favorite game is 9-ball. So it wasn't him that said, "Hey, let's play 8-ball. I got you."
Right. So DJ might not like the outcome of the rest of this match.
But what's so funny is he's the league player. Daniel's the one that plays 8-ball.
Yeah, DJ's a one-pocket player. Which would have made me think he'd be the better 8-ball player, but all in experience, I guess.
Yeah, 8-ball and one pocket are similar, but they're not the same game.
Right.
Oh, look at this. Can you name this tune in one note? I'd like to play caroms on the 9 in the side pocket, Alex, for 500.
Hit it hard enough, something will go.
Well, I know it sounds funny, but he can even kick a safety here. He can go rail first into this one, kick it up table. I know he won't, but that's just one of the options here. It naturally leads either to the bottom rail or behind a 6-7 deuce. But he's gonna go for the cheese here. And it looks to me like he's playing outright cutting it, which I don't like the cut shot as much as I like the carom, because the cut leaves a hanging 9-ball. The carom leaves,
right,
cue ball here and the one ball all the way up table.
Yep.
Worst case scenario is you're going to get safe behind the 6-7-2 next.
I like the 2 or 3 rail safe. Like you were
I like
talking.
going rail first with the 1 also, then make the 9, draw the cue ball.
And 1 goes up table, even if he does miss.
It's not the worst shot in the world.
His leave.
Pretty good shot. Built-in safety. Here you go, DJ.
Yeah, I thought that too, coming off that rail like that. It's a
pretty smart shot. Now, if he leaves the bank and he leaves something like this hanging, it's really trouble. Now, if you're DJ, you have to start looking at how you're going to, outmove Dan. I mean, the guy has every tool in his arsenal. He's pretty much shown that. He's smart, he makes shots well, and he plays safe pretty decently. How do you beat a guy like that? Well, you get lucky to start with.
I think I would have probably played the same way and hit it softer so that I rolled up table and left him something. He hit it kind of hard.
Well, whenever you kick, you always look at see if there's a lopsided section of the table. If there's 6 balls on one side of the table and 1 or 2 on the other, then you try and kick so that one of the balls
into that
obviously heads into that area and stays there. And that's like the premise there that I would have used. And he hit that shot a little bit hard is what it turned into. He's actually giving Dan a good shot.
Come with a 2-rail leave here. Or 3, 4.
Well,
should have been 2. Okay.
Yeah. I think 2 would have been fine. But,
Well, here's a carom.
yeah, it's not exactly as appetizing as the last one he had.
No, not at all.
Now he's playing a smart shot. He's looking to go off the deuce, bank the deuce down past the 6, and run the cue 1 to 2 rails underneath the 9. This is a touch shot. Oh, I don't know about this. Wow, what a great shot.
That was really good speed there.
That was a great shot. That was pure skill. There's no system for that. There's just, hey.
Experience.
Yeah. Now, refresh everybody's memory. This is our first game of 9-ball. We played 5 games of 8-ball, and that was chosen by the winner of the lag, whom I believe was DJ Kinnee.
Yes.
And then DJ made a poor decision, let's just call it that. And Daniel played great, even at one point made an 8 on the break. And now we're into the first game of 9-ball, and this will determine the winner of the set on a race to 7. And DJ just played a great kick. Open table, 2-rail kick. And ended up with not the worst shot in the world, the worst leave in the world in return. Now, what Daniel's supposed to do is put that ball underneath the 7, all the way down on the nameplate. You can see it shining at the top of the table there. So he'll bank that ball about 4 feet and take that cue all the way down into this corner so that the 7, 2, 8 are in the game.
Perfect.
As advertised. I think he might have even got close to freezing it. This is everybody's pretty much favorite shot. I don't know anybody that doesn't list this in their top 5 shots that they love to get when their opponent leaves the table.
There's a lot of top right. The rail first. Spins right in. Oh, I think that's going to cost him. It's wide open here.
Oh, that's going to leave him marked because, you know, the 4's out in the middle of the table. Yeah. The only thing he's got to worry about is getting an angle on the 6 so he doesn't have to play with the 8.
Yep, he's got to put the angle right here.
I mean, there's a little finesse that goes on from the 7 to the 8, but not much. I mean, that's a crasher, you know, position run. You can just load it up with English and get it down in that corner somewhere, and you're going to be fine.
He's hitting him a little hard. That's perfect there. There you go. It's pretty straight in on this.
Well, he has a little bit of an angle to that bottom rail right now.
Yeah, that's not the angle I think he wanted. Wanted the other side.
I might even consider just stopping this ball or
yes,
Englishing it up about an inch or 2.
Or.
Yeah, my favorite, drawing at 19 rails and coming out for the 8-ball, or the 7-ball. But no, if you have a stroke and you're comfortable with keeping an angle and not going too far or getting caught on the rail, that was a perfect shot.
Yeah, that's about my favorite shot, what he did right there. That's probably what I would have played, and that's probably what I would have done, too. Scratched.
And that's my favorite shot right there, barely missing a scratch and ending up with straight in hell.
He's lucky he isn't hooked.
Well, you know, the reason I say he's in hell is he basically, the only option he has is to follow shot softly or follow hardly. I like the soft because you're guaranteed to make the ball, and now you get a shot at with the bank. And he played it smart. At least let me shoot at my money ball.
Sure. Get a little speed here if he does miss.
Perfect. Well, Daniel Gambill continues on his winning streak here. Now, if you're DJ, what do you do here?
Bad rack.
I'm thinking a little super glue, maybe some grease. You know, if you got a rivet gun, maybe I can rivet that 9-ball.
Leave the wing ball a little loose.
Well, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do at this stage here is I'm going to make darn sure that if Daniel wants to win 2 games more off of me, he has to play hard.
Yeah, I think I'd look at my safeties a little more. He's not really playing too much. That last game he played a couple, but up till then he hasn't been playing safe too much. I mean, he obviously isn't running them, so if he can't run, I'd play more defense. Yeah. That's not what I do. That's what I'm saying you should do.
Well,
Dan's playing strong though. I mean, what do you do?
Well, Dan he's not unaccustomed to being here. He's placed 5th in 2009 and 9th last year. So he's comfortable. He likes 9-ball. Yeah, I mean, Daniel's an accomplished player. He plays a 7, he's an APA player, plays a 7 and 8 ball, 8 and 9 ball. I mean, he's around a lot of great pools, so, I can imagine that he's, gonna really know how to close this out. Now, DJ's from Mission Viejo. He's not an APA player. He's been playing 16 years. Has had some success in some of the leagues events, and he's a BCA league operator in Orange County, California. Now, Orange County is where our editor at the Inside Pool magazine, Sally, is from. She used to play at a place down there called Danny K's.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't Mission Viejo, isn't it outside of LA?
I think it's more towards San Diego.
Right, it's San Diego. 1 of the 2, because we were looking at moving that way.
But you know what? I'm not an expert in California geography. We would need Sally here to...
There's a couple other Viejos. I don't know what Viejo means, but there's a couple towns the last...
Right. Yeah, but DJ, his favorite game is 1 pocket.
Well, he might want to be the one shooting his shot then.
Well, right now, Daniel wants to make the combination. He should go rail first and let the cue hit the 6 smack in the face. Make that 2-5. Let the cue 2 run into the...
Oh, no,
that
yeah.
was...
I thought he was shooting a 2-5.
I did too. I think that was a poor decision. That's all right. Oh. At this point here, he's not going to have to pay for it. He's putting the, Torquemada, display right now on poor DJ Kinnee. No matter what he does, he's just torturing poor
soft.
DJ.
Jeez. Hit it soft and lay right up by that 5-8.
Well, if you're ahead 5-1, you shoot this shot and see if you can go ahead and hit the 5 or come around 4 rails for the 5. And which he did. And look at this. Boy, when it rains,
better way to get a leave.
We'll have to diagram that one in our next issue of Inside Pool.
With the angle.
with position.
With position, yeah. Oh,
you know, beautiful. I think I'm going to give our headsets to him after this is over.
You know, it just sometimes it seems like you're playing someone and they get all the rolls and you can't get a break. It stuns it.
Stuns it, pushes it up. Yeah, he's got a nice stroke. He knows how to run out.
What I like about his game is it's simple. He's not doing nothing crazy. Except for that draw, 19-rail draw shot. But
yeah, everybody's allowed to let their stroke out. But he plays, you know, he plays very nice pool, very conservative for the most part. He's not going to take any flyers, it looks like. That's the type of game that wins tournaments because he's just hard to beat. Take a little break and hear from one of our sponsors while DJs is racking these up.
I'm John Hendrick, pool player and owner of the Green Room in Pineville, North Carolina. My serious players demand quality, and that's why I've switched to Milliken Super Pro. This cloth plays at the perfect speed. It lasts a long time, and the spill guard protection saves my tables from stains. It saves me money, and my customers love it.
Milliken Super Pro, exclusively from Sterling Gaming.
Milliken's got me covered. How about you?
Well, let's see what the 6-1 offering from Daniel Gambill turns into. Not too often we're only going to see a couple of games of 9-ball, but this might be one of those sets. Well, the one just got kicked down towards the corner. If it boinks off that bottom rail.
Yeah, he's got a good cue ball control on the break.
That's amazing for an amateur. Most amateurs will let their cue ball run. That's a big difference. Is they're not developed enough past the fact that they want to get power in their break to really worry about their cue ball control.
Yeah, 9-ball is a game where you don't need a ton of power. You know, a lot of amateurs, like you said, don't realize that they hit as hard as they can and let the balls fly, hoping they make a ball. They don't care where the cue ball goes.
Well, this could be trouble. Oh, look at that. How are they rolling for Daniel Gambill? He's acting like he doesn't like it. Meanwhile, I think he went and threaded the needle there. He's just waiting for
put a little yeah, I'd put a little left on there, play that 3 on the side.
Low left, put the 3 down the corner. And shoot it past the 4, then stop it. I think he only needs to move up about by the 7, about a foot away from the 7.
Wow. All right.
There you go.
Maybe the angle wasn't there that I was looking at. I thought he was going to play off the rail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our viewers at home are just as perplexed. We all sit here because it's a game of literally 1/8 inches, and an 1/8 inch this way and an 1/8 inch that way can determine not only whether a ball has an angle or it's straight, but where you're going to shoot it to a lot of times.
Right. I thought he was going to follow to the side rail and come out like that.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, he just needs to pop this ball, a little bit of high right, boink,
perfect.
Come out, roll forward a hair, and this is a set.
Yep. Good set for Daniel Gambill.
You know, hey, do you remember
And just like that, Daniel Gambill breaks and runs out for the win to go up 7-1 and win the set over DJ Kinnee. And I'm J.R. Calvert. Joining me in the booth, Joey Strazzani. I want to thank our sponsors, Kinnee Tips, for that Kinnee Tip special with the Inside Pool Magazine 2-year subscription. I want to thank Milliken Super Pro Cloth, Kinnee, obviously, Fury Custom Cues, and Q-Site. And of course, the APA for producing this great event. This has been the 2001 U.S. Amateur Championship. Stay tuned. We'll get more matches heading your way shortly, folks.